Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of flourishes when you're spinning your lightsaber. So I've already done a video on how to do the Obiani, but we'll go over the fundamentals on that real quick. But mainly I want to show you how to add just a little bit of a hand roll and then kind of a behind the back, just to kind of spice it up a little bit. But first, you want a lightsaber that is well balanced. Now, of course, a staff being equal on both sides is going to be your ideal balance. But you can get a single-bladed lightsaber to do the same thing for you, either by its design, or you can get a regular lightsaber. So for example, most lightsabers are going to have about a 10 to 12 inch handle and a 36-inch blade. Depending on how heavy the hilt is, that might not be the best balance. So for example, this guy right here, his normal balance is right there on the blade. And that's kind of where I want my hand, but if this was a real lightsaber, I wouldn't have a hand anymore. So what I did, and you could do this with just a bit of electrical tape wrapped around your blade. You can put a cardboard fitting. Again, make sure that you do tape it down. But what I did is I took this, I think this was a plastic tubing that went around the lightsaber core. So it was 1 inch exactly, so it fits on the blade perfectly. And then I put this emitter here, and I just electric tape them together. So when I get this down onto the hilt, get it in there snugly, I just tighten the thumb screws. And while, yes, I have a shorter blade, but this is almost like a contact saber. I haven't been able to do some of the cool tricks like, having it go over my shoulder and that kind of stuff. I'm still working on that. But the idea is the same. You've got a really well-balanced saber where the balance point is on the actual hilt. So let's take a look at how that finger roll works. So first, let's go over the Obiani. So what you want to do with the Obiani, you spin behind your back like so, but then as you come up, you're going to actually tip your saber down like that, so behind the back. And then this comes down, and then you're going to go behind your back again from the underside. And as you do, you're going to do a little twist there and continue that. And it should be a continuous motion. And with a well-balanced saber, what I find is, especially when you're doing this behind the back, not only is the blade got its own momentum going up, but you should feel the momentum here, swinging that way. So, like that. So that's your Obiani, bread and butter of most saber spinning. Okay? Now we want to do a finger roll. And I used to do this when I was a kid. You can get a dowel rod, a broom. Heck, you can use probably just an empty blade. Make sure you cap the end of it so your diffusion film doesn't fall out. But you just want to practice rolling it in your fingers. So, and what that gives you, it gives you then a reverse grip. So, let me show you that again. So what I do, and I'm going to go a little slow, is I end up pulling these 3 fingers down so that when it's up like this, my thumb really isn't holding the saber. It's just my index and middle finger. And then as it continues, I adjust my grip. And to do the reverse, so once you have the reverse grip, going to a forward is actually a little bit easier because you just kind of flip it like that. So as this comes forward, you're going to have your palm ready for it to slap right into that palm. And the reason why you want to use that finger roll is because it adds just a little extra flair to your Obiani. So you do a normal Obiani, but then on the second, now you have that reverse grip. So let's try that again. And it makes it really easy to actually swap hands. It goes almost seamless. So, see, I've got my reverse grip, and as I come around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this hand ready so that this flips right up into it. So it's going to continue to stay in motion as I do that. Let's see if I can get it closer. So just of, you've got your reverse grip, and you can kind of use this hand to guide it. So as you flip this in, you can guide this down like that, and now you can continue like so. And speed will come. Don't try to go fast immediately. Just take it slow. You want just a little bit of speed because the momentum really does help, but go slow, go control movements, be deliberate as you're going. And you can do stuff like I just reversed that. And if you can get comfortable with swapping hands like this, and you can do repetitive motions just like this. You don't even have to do, when you're practicing, you don't have to do the full set. You can just practice feeling the weight of the saber, like so. And then we can do behind the back. So we'll do our obiani. We can flip it and then come behind the back and put it back in our hand. Now I will admit this part where I give it from my left hand to my right in front is a little scary because it really does have to be a motion for that. So let me show you what it looks like behind the back. So I'm going to do my obiani, and as I come around, I'm going to grab the lower half here and just let it go. It's that easy. But then when I'm in the front, you know, it could be, you could easily go into a reverse grip if you want. But what I prefer to do is to kind of flip it like this so that as my hand is here, the blade is tipped down and I can grab it that way. And the longer handle really does help this. Like I said, speed will come, so you go slow initially, very deliberate. And that's it. Let's take a look at it with the staff. Now, the finger twirl with the staff is not so important because it has blades on both ends. So it does give you an extra little bit of spin, which is nice, but because it's not really reversing the end of the blade, it's not super important. But you can definitely go behind the back with a staff. And it's the same technique. You're just going to do your obiani, and on the underside, you're going to swap hands, have this come up, do another spin. So now on the front, I've got my hand ready, and there we go. Keep practicing, young Padawans, and I'm sure you'll do great. May the Force be with you.